Welcome to your intuitive message. My name is Cass. I am your prophetic speaker and your motivational conversationalist today. As the energy is being set up, please make sure that you type hello and welcome into the chat. I am here to provide you with motivational inspiration, self-development content, and radical self-love. All right, so make sure you are tapped all the way in. I see my lovely moderator in the chat. Got the Queen of Wands, Travis. Make sure that you say hello to Travis as you come in. We got the Queen of Wands, the Sun, and the Five of Cups. Ooh, big energy. What is the Five of Cups through the Three of Cups? So I'm already feeling like some of y'all might be knowing what's going on around you. Some of y'all know exactly what's going on around you. Let me tell you something. When I see the Queen of Wands and the Sun together, and the Queen of Wands is facing away from the Sun, I'm immediately feeling like you were in a space of not complete, but you were in a space of comfortability. You were in a space where you thrived, where everything felt good for you, but then something came up that turned your attention away from it. Something came up where you had to pay attention to a matter that was bigger than you. And this choice to turn away from something that you were pouring yourself into to something that needed your direct attention and confrontation is powerful. And we have to unpack this in this message. Looking at the Five of Cups, that lets me know that this is not only something that is heavy for you, but it's something that probably has been sneaking up on you for a while, and it has to do something with a very close relationship to you. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't even feel like this is a bad confrontation or a bad pull up, as the kids say these days. They say pull up. I feel like this is an emotional confrontation that needs to happen in your world immediately, because it's been operating under a few systems, and I feel like you might have felt stuck at one point in time. So let me say this before I dig deeper. God is not playing about you. Okay, God is not playing about you, and your healing is the blueprint. Five of Cups with the Three of Cups coming out just immediately confirms that. And there are big blessings abound. But before those big blessings come into play, there is a situation that has to be addressed front and center. And I feel like this situation has to do something not just with a person per se, but just an entire ecosystem, an entire ecosystem that surrounds the vessel that is presenting itself as a person. Okay, what do you mean by that, Cass? Let me channel that a little bit deeper. The vessel is an archetype of person that you might have been drawn to, or an archetype of an environment that you might have been drawn to. Okay, I just saw something flying around here. I see you, bitch. And of course, you're drawn to the light, and I don't have anything. Coco, do your job and get this little flying thing, please. All right, y'all. My apologies. There is an archetype of vessel that you are drawn, that you're in, that you're drawn to, and it's not very favorable for you. You don't like it, and you notice that there's a pattern of not necessarily destruction, but just a pattern of behavior that is not welcoming. It's actually quite hostile to your next level, to your growth. And the interruption has been consistent enough to where you thought you could ignore it, but now it's front and center and it's saying, no, ma'am, you can no longer ignore it. Get your behind over here and deal with it. And that's what you're confronting right now. I feel like, yes, it's a person, but also this person in a particular setting. So whether or not this setting, and I'm looking at Five of Cups, so this is definitely matters of the heart. So whether this setting is in the bedroom, whether this setting is in your home or somebody else's home, whether this person has done harm to you before and you're unsure of whether or not you should address it or say something, that is actually what you need to do, because God is calling you to remove this energy, this pull, this This string is asking you to pull this string so that it can disconnect, tap in. And you know what, collective? I feel like some of you are kind of like peeved. You're pissed off that you have to disrupt or interrupt what you got going on to address this disconnect. But the fact of the matter is that you're only peeved because what you were distracted by allowed you to bypass what the bigger issue was. That's right. I'm calling you out. A lot of y'all spiritually bypassing, and I'm here to call you forth because spiritual bypassing is not always overt. As a matter of fact, it's mostly a convert. That's what I'm looking for, y'all. Is overt, invert, convert. Is that the word I'm looking for? Somebody let me know in the chat. It goes under the radar. And a lot of the times it's behavioral converse. Thank you. It goes underneath the radar because your behaviors and the way that you have set up your life and things that are mundane, covert. Thank you. That's the word. That's the word, covert operations. I should know that. Because your behaviors and because what feels mundane in the everyday, you don't even notice that you're spiritually bypassing, which is why this interruption feels like just unnecessary. But baby, it's not. And I want you to draw into the fact that this is necessary. Now we're going to go a little bit into what this confrontation might feel like, but I don't think it's going to be a bad confrontation. Again, confrontation does not always mean that it's going to turn out negative. It doesn't even mean that it's going to be hostile. I believe that it's going to be necessary, and it might even be a little bit rough. Look, what I say, Lovers came out. Okay, Lovers came out. And I don't even think that this necessary conversation is going to be hard for you to do. What's going to be difficult is managing the other person's emotions. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I feel like you've been sucked in multiple times. Hi. I feel like you've been sucked in multiple times by this person's emotional unwellness, and you've contorted what you've wanted in order to appease this person or to not have them emotionally show out. Don't let this be the situation at this point in time. This is somebody that you got deep love for. This is somebody that you maybe have respected. This may be somebody that you have known for a long time. And so disrupting their emotional state might seem like an inconvenience. No, it's not. It might be an inconvenience to them, but it's not an inconvenience to you. And I want you to stop being scared of confronting or having to address a problem that is in your life simply because somebody else cannot control their emotions. How they control their inner world is not up to you. How they control their reaction is not up to you. You're doing your job. You're sitting down, you're having the conversation, and you're saying what's on your mind so that it can be front and center and you can start the disconnection process. How they deal with that disconnection is not your issue at that point. Ooh. And I feel like a lot of us have completely removed ourselves from having those conversations, those meetups, simply because you're scared that somebody's going to have an emotional fit. Have the freaking fit. Be an emotional wreck that is not yours to carry. Because the fact that you were scared, the fact that you were scared to address them simply because of their emotional irregularity that they have not worked on, you have thus caused yourself a whole body issue. You're a nervous wreck. You walking on eggshells around this person. So there might be a moment where their emotional intensity may skyrocket. And that's what you've been trying to avoid. Let their emotional immaturity skyrocket. Allow them to be all over the place. And I want you to stay still. I want you to be stoned. And it might be hard for you because it's somebody that you care about, but I need you to understand that this might actually be either emotional manipulation or it might be their overflow. Listen, divine feminine, tap in. We know about overflow. The divine feminine is a master at understanding what it's like to be so overwhelmed with emotion that we cry. That's why you'll hear a woman in a heartbeat. I get so angry that all I could do was cry, because we understand the overflow. We understand that when we're so happy, all we could do is cry. We understand that when we are frustrated, we cry. There's an overflow of emotion that shows in tears. So you might be dealing with somebody who is emotionally manipulating you, but also or they may have an overflow, and that is the way it presents itself. But because you're unsure and you immediately went to, oh, this is emotional manipulation, you never went past the point of them crying or yelling or being frustrated because they don't know how to deal with their overflow. So you don't even know how to gauge it. The reason why this is important is because when you are having conversations with people who are doing something that is not conducive to your level up, to your life, to your journey, when you are doing something of that magnitude, it causes you said you've been going through this recently, tap in. It causes you to assess yourself and ask, is there something wrong with me? Not in a negative way, but you're asking yourself, do I have to adjust who I am in order to show up for this person in the way that they need me to? When in fact, no, you don't, and you shouldn't have to. You should not have to. So I feel like this string that you're pulling to disconnect is necessary, and the emotional blow up is not because of you, it is because of them. So what do you do when this happens? Like I said, you stay stoned, you stay composed. And once they have their moment, once it comes to pass, then you say, are you able to have this conversation right now? And some people might say, no, I'm not ready to have this conversation. Okay, you're not able to have this conversation. Therefore, there is no other choice for me to have but to disconnect this relationship at this moment. There's no closure for you, but there's closure for me because I understand what I have to do. Period. Simple as that. Okay? If they say, yes, I'm in overflow, I don't know how to deal with this, then you say, well, I understand that you don't know how to deal with this, and this might be a difficult conversation for you to have, but if you're able to receive it, let me tell you what's going on. Oh my gosh, thank you. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I understand it's a difficult conversation that is about to happen, but this is what I'm experiencing, and this is why we can no longer remain friends or remain in this relationship. The outcome is going to be the same. It's how you deliver the message. Point blank, period. You do not have to be disconnected from who you are because of somebody else's inability to control themselves. You are not giving these people permission to write how you move forward. And I know a lot of people say, well, they don't have a direct impact on how I move forward. But if you are censoring yourself in a way that mutes you, that quiets you around certain people, and it doesn't feel good, they are dictating how you operate. Yeah. You are not supposed to bend to the room. The room is supposed to bend to you. That's what happens when you have magnetism. That's what happens when you know you're healed and you know that you are that girl or that woman, right? At the very least, there's supposed to be a meeting of energies. You are not supposed to diminish yourself because somebody else doesn't know how to handle themselves. That's not how we're rolling around here, and I would never encourage that. So the conversation needs to happen, or it won't happen. Either way, you're going to be good. And you're going to feel accomplished because you disconnected that situation. High Priestess came out. The High Priestess is actually sitting in reverse for me. Yeah, disconnection. And I need to let you know, under this Queen of Wands with this High Priestess, there is a particular fire that happens when you douse somebody's energy away from you. Okay, there is a particular fire that happens when you douse somebody's energy away from you. It ignites this understanding that you are powerful. And I know that my divine feminines in this world that wants you to shut up, it can be, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I bless your gift 1,000-fold. Thank you. Who gave that? Was that, I think I saw Candace. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, babes. Thank you. I lost what I was saying, y'all. Oh, I got you. I'm back. I know that in this world that tries to quiet you down, baby, understanding how your power moves amongst vultures is quite beautiful. And I don't ever want you to forget. Thank you, babes. I don't ever want you to forget how powerful you are. And a simple phrase, a simple move, a simple disconnection can revert what somebody believes they have power over you with. It can revert that back into nothingness. And all it takes is a simple act of disconnection from you in the most beautiful way, a simple way. Tap in. Whew. Big High Priestess. Now, what is going on with this sun? Also, hey, everybody, make sure you double tap that screen. Knight of Wands flanked by the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. And so what this is telling me right now is that this person that you're disconnecting from, they relied on you a lot. They came to you for balance. They came to you for everything. They came to you to find their way, for direction, for understanding. Like you were a pillar in their emotional direction, in their compass, in their inner compass. And let me tell you what that does. If this is not a child, okay, this is not your child that's looking to you to be an emotional compass to help them figure out their emotions, there should be no one who is tethering on to you to do this for them. That is the ultimate form of disrespect for your spiritual gifts. And I talk to you guys all the time on here about allowing people to use your spiritual technology for free. That means there has to be a particular exchange that happens that is beneficial for the both of you in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like this person would always just run to you and tell you, oh, you've got to fix this for me. Oh, let me tell you about what this guy did. Let me tell you, like, can you tell me what to do? And it's just like, no. Not only should you not tell them what to do, but you should not encourage them to keep coming to you. And I know that we've all had friends like this that make the same dumbass decisions over and over again, and they keep expecting different results. I know that we've all had those friends. We've all had to talk to those friends. We all ask that question, why do you keep showing up this way? Like, what's going on? And they always have an excuse that is so vague that we often forget it. Let me tell you something. If you have a friend that keeps coming to you and they are depleting you of your necessary nutrients so that you can operate at a capacity that you're comfortable with on the daily, you've got to hold their feet to the fire. You have to give them a decision. Either you learn how to cope with your bad decisions, either you learn how to cope with what you're doing by yourself. You learn to, what's the word I'm looking for, y'all? You learn about yourself. Or we can stop all communication. There is nothing worse than someone who loves chaos and brings the chaos to your front door because they love your energy and how you douse that fire. Woo-wee. They love it, baby. They love to bring chaos to your front door, and it does something to their spirit. It's almost like a turn on of how you can take your spiritual gift of diffusion and say to them, oh my gosh, girl, you know what? You were right. They were wrong. I got your back. Let me tell you something. You ain't, no, you don't. No, you don't. You ain't got nobody's back. Let me tell you something about loyalty. Loyalty understands a limit to who you are as a person. And no friend would ever ask you to step outside of what is comfortable for you spiritually to appease them, to please them. Loyalty comes from understanding boundaries, not pushing past them that ultimately leads to your disrespect. Somebody said, yes, I'm glad that that landed. I can't stand a disrespectful heifer. I can't stand somebody say, well, if you were really my friend, if I was really your friend, what? You would allow me to hurt myself, deplete myself in the name of what? Your foolishness? No, sir, no, ma'am. I need you to cut that off immediately. Immediately. I need you to build a wall, a defense system, a spiritual defense system so strong that if they even think about coming your way, you are telling them, or their energy is telling them, you need to make a full-blown U-turn and go somewhere where that clown show is accepted, not here. Okay? I used to have a friend that said, don't come over here with that Republican bullshit. She used to say that all the time. Don't come over here with that Republican bullshit. Okay? Don't come over here with that crap. And rightfully so. You've got to draw boundaries. And the loyalty test is not whether or not they can push you past your boundaries, it's whether or not they respect it. That's true loyalty. Travis, girl, she was so crazy. Man, I miss her. May she rest in power. What we got going on? 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Got a whole lot of reverse energy here. Yeah, let me bring myself back. Allow this, God, please allow this message to channel properly. The 9 of Pentacles showing up underneath the 5 of Cups is powerful because it lets me know that there have been multiple thresholds that you have, that you have backed away from, that you haven't crossed because you have felt bad about leaving this particular person and this particular environment behind. Let me tell you something. People that see your greatness, they will do anything to remove you from a platform that will catapult you, that teaches you, that guides you, that loves you, that honors you, that places you in the palm of abundance. Yeah. People who recognize that your gifts, whether your gifts are speaking, healing, holding, creating with your hands, or crafting, knitting, whatever it is, no matter what your gift is, people will find a way. People who don't care about you and who only use you for self, those people are dangerous, and they will find a way for you to remain just under that threshold where you can see it, but you never pass it. And that goes back to the emotional manipulation I was speaking of earlier. That goes back to this energy of saying, I'm unable to compose myself or keep my emotions in check because I am an immature asshole. Okay, that's what they do. They don't say it explicitly, but I need you to tap in and name it. Here's the thing, collective. Sometimes the divine feminine is scared to name exactly what's going on with them. And I see it a lot. And what I'm learning is that when you name the thing that is a problem, it draws the correct attention to the actual problem. There is no pussyfooting around the thing. If you're saying that this person is not only being an emotional manipulator, but the stronghold that they have on you is a problem, now you know how to address it. Don't be scared to name the thing. You are an emotional manipulator. And the way that you emotionally manipulate the people that you're supposed to love is when you do A, B, C, or D. Being specific is powerful. And I feel like the divine feminine sometimes glosses over that, because when we name the thing, then we have to, then that power comes to it. You get to decide what to do with that. Once you bring it forth, you get to decide what to do with that. Now that you name the thing, what do you want to happen? Do you want to dispense it? Do you want to dispose of it? Do you want to keep it? Do you want to, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to sit on it and marinate? Name the thing that's the problem. Okay? Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, they're hoping that you don't ground. They hope that you keep it in your mind so that they never have to face what's going on. Anybody playing them games with these people at all? Make sure y'all double tap that screen for me. I'm still a growing channel. Oh my gosh, y'all, we made it to 2,500 subscribers. Y'all see that? Y'all, the Crown Collective is growing over here. Namaste. Namaste, Collective. I really appreciate y'all. Oh, wait, that Page of Cups came right up. Page of Cups with the light. And look, the Two of Pentacles. Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing, the Two of Pentacles with the light coming out with the Three of Cups, which is like our base energy. That is what this person, this energy, this environment wants to keep you away from. It wants to keep you away from the enlightenment. It wants to keep you away from gathering with your people, with your community, because they cannot hang in the light. They cannot hang with the preciousness. They cannot hang with you. And it's because they have not done the work themselves. Here is the thing. There is a qualifier to go to another level. And let me be clear, their level might not be the same as somebody else's level. Our levels might not even be the same. As a matter of fact, I guarantee that our levels are not the same. But there is an enlightenment that we all understand as a collective, that we all respect as a collective, regardless of the journey or where we're placed in our journeys. There is an understanding of the enlightenment, correct? There are some people who despise that enlightenment. There are people who are it by that enlightenment, because that means that they have to work on it to stay in that frequency. They're attracted to the frequency. They want the frequency. They crave it, but the work to get there is too much for them. There is a requirement to get to that level. Ooh. So what do? They pussyfoot around. They want to juggle. Okay, I kind of want to be there with you, but then I can't. So, okay, what do I do to keep the collective here? You say, oh, yes, I've witnessed. Yeah. Thank you for testifying and keeping it real in the chat. It is wild. And because the divine feminine is so nurturing, because we want everybody to come along, because we're like, listen, girl, we can fix you. We can make it work for you. Oh my gosh, I really do think that if you just do this, listen, you could tell people 1,000 times what they need to do in order to correct course, and they will not do it because they don't want to correct course or they're not ready to. You can't be ready for them. And if you can't be ready for them and they are still using you, if they are doing that, then there is a fork in the road. There is something that you need to do about that, or else you'll be caught in a cycle along with them. There is going to be a threshold that you cross. Yeah. And some of y'all fear that threshold simply because you don't want to leave people behind. And I'm not saying that, or maybe I am saying that. Leaving them behind could be the best thing possible. Or leaving them not even behind. I don't even want to say that because it might not be a behind. It just might be where they are. Leaving people where they are until they are ready to do particular work to meet you somewhere. And you guys may never meet back up again. Yeah. It might be a high and by. Like you might see each other physically, but emotionally, psychologically, thoughtfully, like y'all may never ever meet up again. And that is something that I think the divine feminine holds on to because we want the familiar as we move into the unfamiliar. It's something that's been a running thread and theme within my intuitive messages. We crave that familiarity, but that in that familiarity thrives people and situations that we bump our heads against, that don't feed us, that don't nourish us. They drain us in the worst way. They feed off of us in the worst way, and they feed off of that insecurity that the quiet is worse than the noise of the past or in the past. Ooh, yeah. Sit with that. Ooh, big energy coming from that 5 of Cups and that 9 of Pentacles in reverse. Real big energy coming from there. What's coming out next? 8 of Swords. Yeah. 8 of Swords. What slipped out at first? The 10 of Cups. Yeah. 10 of Cups with the 8 of Swords. Now, the 10 of Cups is in reverse with the 8 of Swords. So let me tell you what's going on with you, collective, as we have unpacked the overall energy, and then we talked about what's going on with them and how that pertains to you. Let me tell you what's going on with you. As I stated earlier, God is not playing about you, and your healing is the blueprint. This 10 of Cups in reverse is telling me that you are not making yourself available in overflow right now. You are enjoying your overflow. You are enjoying this abundance. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't let a hoe tell you there is something wrong with that. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. Don't let anybody tell you that operating in your overflow, you have to share it all the time. I actually said the term overflow earlier when I was talking about emotions with the other person, with the people that you're disconnecting from. But let me talk about it with you, baby. Ooh, hey, Elle. Let me talk about it with you. When you are operating in overflow, it is still new territory that you may be navigating. And you are allowed to sit in that overflow comfortably as you break through what was once keeping you contained. This is a new version of yourself. So this is not like you just sitting and being selfish. This is you integrating. This is you integrating from the old version of you to the new version of you. Like these worlds are meeting. And you should not feel like you have to share immediately in your overflow. You can make it make sense for yourself. We act like, oh, we got it and now we have to give it away. No, you don't. Operation Overflow, when God gives it to you, is meant to be shared, but it has to be shared responsibly, or else you'll end up depleted and back in a situation where people feel comfortable using your gifts without any permission and without giving back to you. I mean, is this landing? Because we want so badly to heal and be healed. We want so badly for the blessings to be abound. But until we're able to sit in the blessing and say, oh my God, like this is real. This is how I'm going to use my blessing instead of throwing it away. Until we do that, we can deplete ourselves to the point of no return. And that's scary. So if you are in a season of receiving your abundance and you're in a season of healing, or you are healed and now you're ready to share, do not let the 10 of Cups in reverse or the 8 of Swords scare you. This is a message telling you to sit in what you received and what you worked hard for. Yeah. Yeah. Sit in it. I didn't say hoard it. I didn't say never give it out, because I believe in reciprocity. I believe in giving in overflow. I believe in that 1,000,000,000%. But I also believe in recognizing that you can sit in moments for however long you need to integrate so that you don't fall back into the old ways of giving without anything in return. And by anything in return, I mean people who just take for zero reason other to just take and make sure you're depleted. Tap in. Looking at the Queen of Swords with the Emperor. Yeah. And the Knight of Swords. Woo-wee. Let's unpack it. And at the bottom, we got the 7 of Wands. Woo-wee. Big, big energy. The Emperor with the Queen of Swords and facing the Knight of Swords. Somebody got this message. Somebody got this message. And let me tell you something. God, please allow this message to come through. The Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords are coming fast at each other. But the Emperor is facing away from the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is facing away and running towards the Knight of Swords. This is telling in energy, because what this is saying to me is that there is a queendom or a kingdom that is disintegrating, that must disintegrate, that must be dismantled, pulled away. And it is a big structure in your life. This is something that is huge. The energy, the momentum is huge. It was overwhelming. It was heavy. It was thick. The presence of it is the very presence of this energy, of this environment, keeps you stuck. It keeps you in this cycle of continuous bullshit. And there was a shift. What made you shift, collective? There was a mindset shift. I feel this how I see it in your head. I feel like, and I listen, this might not be your story, but just take what resonates. I feel like the collective was just like sleep one night, just sound asleep, and the eye just woke up. You just wide awake. And you said to yourself, this is some dumb shit. What am I doing? I got to get up out of here. Whatever that container is to get up out of, you was like, nah, I got to get up out of here. It was an immediate awakening when you were the most still. And your mind got to move, and your mind got to say, hey, what is this? I've gotta get out. So now your mind is thinking, okay, I'm naming the thing. I'm naming what I have to get out of. I'm naming this container. This container is a cycle of frustration. This container is a job I don't want anymore. This container is I need coaching or counseling. This container is I want to start my own business. I want to go back to school. I want to start writing again. I want to start working out again, going for a walk every day. This container is me getting closer to people that I've lost touch with. This container, whatever this container is that kept you from your goal, kept you from the thing that you need to feel alive, to feel like you're in your purpose, that container is what you're ready to get out of. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not always a physical one. It can be a mental one. Be a mental container. I feel like this awakening is so thick. Yeah, it's thick. That it's like you're almost sliding down the sides of this container because the thickness of the wall is not keeping you up. Let me tell you something. Sometimes we're so busy trying to climb out of something that we don't even recognize, and we can just walk straight through the door. Divine Feminine has a way of complicating things like that. It can literally all be so simple. Yep. It's real. It's so real. And this Knight of Swords is doing a lot of heavy lifting towards the Queen of Swords. First of all, let me tell y'all how I know that your healing is the blueprint. Looking at this and that big blessings are abound. If you're new here, then you've never heard me say this before, and I've never heard another tarot reader say this at all, or anybody that utilizes photos to get a message across. The Knights are reckless in a good way. They are the messengers of divine information. They take what's happening in the supernatural and they bring it into reality. That's why the Emperor don't even want to look at what's about to happen between the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords. The Emperor is like, I don't even want to see this go down. I got to look the other way because the divine truth has to come. And let me tell you something about the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is the most reckless. He coming in, his sword is so sharp that it cuts through everything. You might feel like things are just falling apart, that things are just slipping away from you. No, sir, no, ma'am. The Knight of Swords is saying all non-essential situations must be dismantled, must disintegrate. Because what the collective needs to focus on, what the divine feminine needs to focus on, the divine feminine is ready to receive. What you need to focus on is this right here. Whatever your this is this right here. This gift, this conversation, this job, stacking your money, traveling, going back to school, you finishing up or finishing up your education. Like, this is it. So whatever other noise that's happening, it's going to stop. And we talked about this the other day. Baby, that silence is necessary. This is a huge transformation. It's a transformation in your mindset. It's a transformation in your healing. That makes sense when the Five of Cups came out. And I talked about you're almost at this threshold and somebody wants you to keep pulling back. It's almost like you're at the cusp all the time. You're at the cusp all the time, yet for some reason you can't cross over. The Knight of Swords and the Queen of Swords is saying, between this space is quiet, but we need you to do the work that we're setting up for you. And this is such a closed container. What is happening in here is so volatile. It has to be. Transformation is not, you don't sit here and be like, oh, transformation. Yeah. No, transformation is movement. Something is being mixed up and something's happening. That's why y'all be so tired after going through a straight up spiritual awakening. You be exhausted. You need to sleep for 6 months after a spiritual awakening. You like, whoo, I feel like I walked through the valley. You did. You walked literally through the valley. Who's protecting you through that valley is how much you have to put in work with the other elements. So for you, it's a no-brainer. You know what you have to do. The Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords is saying, you don't have to overthink this. We're thinking for you. What you might have to put the work in is making it real. What you might have to do the work in is filling out the application or putting your $50 away for a month so that in a year's time, you have whatever it is you need to have. Learning the skill, whatever it is. That's where the work comes in. But this silence right here, where you're supposed to be building, you're not supposed to be overthinking this. So if you are in a season of transformation, matter of fact, not if, I know that you are in a season of transformation, your job is not to overthink because you already know what the thing is. That is the blueprint. And that is the blueprint that a lot of people going to be seeing you do in real time. Look at the 7 of Wands. I'm telling you, this threshold is right here. And it's a regal threshold, baby. It is one that is sent from the purest source. We just stop playing. When I say big blessings are abound, we won't, oh my gosh. This 7, listen. 7 of Wands, tell us what blessings are abound. Look, Queen of Cups at the bottom. So we got the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Cups. So we have the thinking, and then we have the overflow. The overflow of blessings. Are y'all playing with me? Are y'all playing with me? I don't even think. I don't even think y'all really hear me. Type one in the chat if you feel what I'm saying. Smacked you in the doggone forehead. I don't even think you got smacked in the forehead. I think you actually got body slammed. I think you got DDT. Okay, I think you got Stone Cold Stunner. Oh my God, Stone Cold Stunner. He's an animal. Remember JR and Jerry King Lawler? I think you got rock bottom. Ew. High Priestess in the 2 of Swords. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, with the Justice on the bottom, the Page of Cups just want to slip out. Justice and the Page of Cups just wants to come out under Justice, bringing in that new level of enlightenment. Not the enlightenment where it's so new that it feels like you're just walking again, you're learning to walk again. No, this level, this Page of Cups enlightenment is a space that feels familiar. The terrain might just be a little bit different, but you know the navigational tools that you have in your hand. And with the High Priestess, oh my goodness, what's on the other side of this transformation? Not even on the other side of this transformation, we haven't gotten there yet. What is in between the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords? This threshold that they are protecting. It's almost like they are protecting you as you walk through this threshold. Oh, baby, let me slide out and slide back in again. Oh, we done cracked the code. Oh, baby. The Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords is protecting this space on some you shall not pass to anybody except for you. It's quiet here, collective. It is quiet here. This is the silence that you get scared of. This is the silence that you run away from. This is the silence that leads you back into a situation with people that you don't like. This is the silence that puts you back in 5 of Cups energy, okay? So when I started out with the Queen of Wands and the Sun on polar opposites, it's telling you, hey, this might actually feel good while you're here. But the trueness of it is, it only feels good because you believe that familiarity is the perfect setup for success. Let me show you why this is a bad idea. Boom, here comes a friend. The awakening that this friend in your environment is not someone that you need to be around. That shift alone, as you deal with that, because when you put your foot down with this friend, I think I said this, it awakens this power within you. It feels good. It feels amazing. It's like, yes, I love this. What else can I do with this power? Oh, you can make shit shake, baby. You can make it move. Hoo-wee. So what is the thing? What is the lesson that is happening with this friend that you are having these conversations with, that you're having an awakening with? What's happening here? Well, first, you're learning that this person is actually an emotional manipulator. You're learning that this person is using emotions to keep you quiet. The next thing is that they are using your spiritual gifts to keep you grounded in a low vibrational setting. Somebody said they are too damn greedy. Yes, I agree. I absolutely agree with you. They're greedy for what you have, though. They're not gonna go out there and get it themselves. And then looking at the Knight of Wands with the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, they're always coming to you for everything. It makes you upset. It frustrates you. Nine of Pentacles. Okay, I know that you're almost at this threshold, but let me do something to take your eye off the prize. That's what this person is doing. This is what you're learning about this person in real time as you go to the next threshold, as you are inching your way to this threshold. This person knows that you're going to the light. This person knows that you are finding your container. You're refining, defining your container, what you're able to hold, and who are the people that's able to hold it with you. Ooh-wee. Then where we go? Ten of Cups in reverse with the Eight of Swords. Now we're talking about what it feels like for you to have to sit in the overflow instead of giving it away immediately. This is the start of a new setting. This is the start of the awakening setting in, where you're putting your feet to the ground. You're saying, okay, I have this. This is what I need to do. And as soon as you recognize this is what you need to do in your overflow, you're in your prayers, you're in your rituals, you are 10 toes strong in this. What happens? God is like, all right, I see that you're ready. I see that you're ready. Big blessings are abound. And before you can get your big blessings are abound, you must walk through this threshold. Before you walk through this threshold, friend, divine feminine, before you walk through this threshold, you got to watch everything that you built before just go. And you're going to watch it happen. You need to watch it happen. You need to watch the clown show. Why? Because this is a lesson that's going to be ingrained in your body so that you know what it feels like before you even see it when somebody comes and try to disrupt this overflow. This is what you're protecting. This is the gift I have given you that you need to protect. So you need to know what it looks like, what it feels like, what it sounds like, what it smells like, as we get rid of what you thought you needed before. Oh, well, who gonna protect me during this time? I'm vulnerable. I'm out there. I ain't got it like that, baby. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. I got the perfect energies to keep you protected as you cross through this threshold, baby. Don't you worry about it. The gates are clear. The structure is clear. Oh, 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 baby. Now that's a reading. That's a message for you, baby. And so now the question is, okay, so as I'm crossing through this threshold, let me tell you something. You don't have a choice but to go through it. You don't have a choice. You can't go back. You can't, the conditions, if you go back, are so hostile. It is scorched earth. You don't even have anything to build on. God is making sure that if you decide to go back to a hostile environment, that you're going to be the hostile one. This is where people go, oh, you too hostile, you too bougie. Yes. Yes. I concur. So what's happening? High priestess, you're understanding that what's happening in the metaphysical world, what's happening in the unseen realms, is translating to what's happening in the physical. And for a lot of divine feminines who keep accessing their power but might not understand just how strong they are, this can be a trippy ride. This is where a lot of divine feminines recognize that their tongue is powerful, that what they say, it comes, it manifests immediately. How many, say that's me, Cass, in the chat. If you've ever said something, no matter what it is, whether you said, you know what, I can use the extra $20 so I can go get me something to eat and got to come out of my pocket. You know what, I wish you would shut up. You know what, I would really like to receive something before, and next thing you know, boom, it's there. You said something was going to happen and boom, it happened. Now you like, oh, okay, now I can't even say that I want that bitch to get hit by a car no more. You can't even say that because you're like, whoa, I'm powerful. Not saying that's me. It's wild. This is that high priestess energy. Look, we got double twos on the board. Oh, baby. We have a solid ground and it is protected. This energy where you are recognizing that your spiritual gift, your manifestation powers, baby, that is something to be protected. And look, you can't go back. The high priestess is protected by the Two of Swords. Look at him. Who coming up against him? Does he look ready for you? I feel like he's ready for war. I feel like he's not even giving you a choice. I feel like he's just saying like, hey, you cross this line and you're going to catch these swords. You cross these lines, you're going to get bit, right? I mean, you cannot try this. You can't, and you can't go back. So you are in high priestess mode. So while you are still in your silence, while you are still in this quiet, okay, what you need to be doing, what do you need to be doing? While you are still in this quiet, what do you need to be doing, class? Manifesting. You need to be deep in your prayers. This is the alchemy. This is the alchemy. This is the space for it to happen. Advanced practitioners, they understand this. But a lot of times, divine feminine, we take this silence and we do everything but what we're supposed to do. This is the time to manifest and recognize that when it comes in front of you, what you're supposed to be doing is what you're supposed to be doing with that manifestation. Don't play yourself. Do not play yourself and allow this silence to trick you and scam you out of doing what you're supposed to be doing. Whew. Man. Y'all. Y'all, this is big. This is big, y'all. Y'all know when I get inside, I gotta stand up. This is big. This is big, bitch. Y'all, what we gonna do? We gonna win. What you mean? This is the energy in which things start to make sense to you. This is the spirit. This is the essence in which you understand that everything that you went through before, the world that you knew before, the life that you lived before was a stepping stone into something bigger and powerful and more abundant. This is the blueprint. Your healing is the blueprint. Now you know what it is. Now you know what it feels like. Now you know what it sounds like. This is it. Do not mistake it for something else. Do not mistake it for a lie. Do not mistake it for a place that's scary. This is exactly where you need to be. You cannot be scared of your own powers. We not gonna sit here and be on some X-Men talking about, oh, I don't know, just fireballs shooting out your hand. You better shoot some fireballs out your hand. Or however your gift shows up, you know. Big rebirth. And it is protected. It is divinely protected. A lot of earth angels. A lot of you will be running into earth angels. A lot of earth angels. I'm like, damn, where you come from? Look, Empress energy, manifestation. Ooh-wee, Tower, Ace of Cups, and the Emperor. So the Emperor returns. The building. Let me show y'all how this is setting up, because I be wanting y'all to see what I see. Okay, so let me tell y'all how this is setting up for me. Two of Swords, looking at the Tower, preventing any Tower energy, moments, conversation, preventing the Tower from coming towards your manifesting. And as a matter of fact, I feel like the Two of Swords is saying, hey, I see you. Don't bring that raggedy shit over here, because if you do, I'm going to slice you like a tomato. Okay? The Tower leads into the Empress. The Empress. The Empress. What is coming out of the overflow? The Tower is the death into rebirth. Except for we did not sit in the star energy. It went from destruction to nurturing. This is telling me this is the place to nurture yourself. This is the place for you to unapologetically pour into you and allow others to as well. What I tell y'all about reciprocity, what I tell y'all about receiving, when you are in your manifesting season and it's all you have to do in this season, people are going to show up and give you offerings. You bet not refuse them unless your Two of Swords says, no. That is all intuition. That's all discernment. The Empress is saying, ooh, divine feminine energy. The Empress is saying, nurture, because what is coming out of the chaos that you experience, what is coming out of that is an environment. And I want this message to translate from my spiritual to my physical properly. What is coming out of the Tower is a declaration of softness. Yeah. Not something that is hard, not something that is rugged. This is something where you get to rest in softness. The Empress is asking you to build, not out of fear, not out of lack. The Empress is asking you to nurture and rebuild out of pureness, out of a light heart, out of reverence, out of love. The Empress is flanked by renewal and the Emperor. It is actually rare for my board to see the Emperor and the Empress on the same line. They'll come up, depending on the spread I'm using, they'll come up in different ways with different cards, but from the same deck like this, and the Ace of Cups is sitting in between them. I don't think I've ever seen this before. Not like this. So we have the nurtured, and then we have the building. Now, I told you guys before, way back before I became this season of Cass, okay? I used to be a tarot teacher. And my style of teaching was very archetypal. And I would create scenarios that would make me dig deeper into how these archetypes behave. And so for me, the Empress and the Emperor, while they are a beautiful pair, they have very strong energies that they fight over a lot. And so one of the things is that the Emperor is very hands-on, building. Like, he is like, I don't care about that nurturing. My form of nurturing is for what I am teaching to get it right. The person, the energy, the conversation, the mindset that I am building and helping to build, I don't care about all that softness. I don't care about all that, oh, you got to hold, you got to rock. I don't care about none of that. The goal is to build sturdiness, strength, understanding, precision, because what you are presiding over requires a hard hand. It requires foresight and insight. It requires you to be strong. And the Empress is like, well, wait a minute, baby. Listen, I notice you want to be strong and everything, but we have to also love them. Okay, we have to love. And he like, bitch, I don't care about all that love. Love don't pay the bills. Okay. So what do they have to do? They have to communicate with one another, right? And they have to understand that there's a place for both. There's a place for both. So you don't have to live in this separate world where one world gets softness and the other world gets like hardness. Like, they can coexist, and you get to code switch, and you get to know which one is necessary at any given moment. That means you can walk out of your door and be 60% Empress, 40% Emperor, and deal with the world that way, and then walk into another environment and be all Emperor and build. Or be all Empress and nurture. And what's holding you together is the understanding that there is an opportunity to always reset, renew, relove, or dig deeper into it. This is the true duality. And I feel like divine feminine, the conversation around divine femininity is always, oh, you got to be dainty. And I'm here for daintiness. I love me a dainty bitch. Okay, I do. I love me a dainty divine feminine. But also, what is the power that makes you want to build? And what does that look like for you? I can't answer that for you. That is something you're going to have to sit with. But I feel like the ultimate conversation here is what is balanced for you in this season. What feels balanced? What feels right? What space must you be in? How do you replenish yourself? In what ways are you giving and receiving? Because as you are still in this season of manifesting, we have to understand that your healing is the blueprint. And we build upon blueprints. Yes? Yes. We build upon the blueprint. And if you're building upon the blueprint of being healed or healing, not from complete destruction or brokenness, but from a new perspective, a new understanding, a new level of who you once were. When you understand that healing, well, you understand this, you guys know, healing is layered. And I don't believe that everyone is starting from a place of chaos all the time. It could just be a new level, a new understanding of healing. And I feel like with the Empress and the Emperor, it's saying use both mindsets, that you can nurture and build at the same time. And there's a place for one or the other. Ooh. Tap in. Hey, Starboy. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're all right. How are you guys feeling? How are you guys feeling? Have you guys double tapped this screen? And how are you feeling about this conversation thus far? I feel like this is very powerful. There's a lot that happened. I'm glad you're refusing it. Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. Now, before I get up out of here, I want to go back to my live stream from yesterday. If you were there, you said powerful. Thank you. Thank you. Your feedback is important to me. I'm asking genuinely. I want to go back to a conversation from yesterday during my live stream where there was a young lady, a young lady. She was 17 years old that came into my live stream. And I was talking about something completely different. And this young lady that came into my live stream was 17 years old. 17. The majority of my audience is over the age of 45. Okay, that's what my analytics say. And the majority of those women over 45 are in their 60s. Okay. And that's because I'm speaking to a level of life that resonates. All right. Resonates strongly. And a lot of that comes from me just being wise beyond some of my years, and also the type of work that I do. Many of you know, but some of you don't know, I am a hospice social worker. I have over 10 years as a death doula. That is my business currently. And one of the things that have always saddened me or made me feel like just a level of conflict is that I will always honor women at the end of their lives. And I didn't use those skills, or I hadn't used those skills to honor women in the here and now. And so I'm taking that skill set and I am repurposing it for women who are alive, who are here now. So when a 17-year-old med student, or she wants to be a doctor, future doctor, came in and said that her boyfriend that she's been with for 2 years, never purchased anything for her. And I think what she said, Travis, at first was that this gentleman or this guy went off on her for taking a selfie or something like that, and kind of like cussed her out, or just, he didn't make her feel safe for taking the selfie. And he called himself protective over her. And when I read that, I was about to get off my live stream, remember, because I was on my way to drive in Saturday afternoon traffic to LA. Okay. And when I read that, I immediately was like, wait a minute, what? He got mad because you took a selfie? There's something wrong with that. And as she kept going, she revealed her age to be 17. I was like, whoa, that is young. And somebody in my chat said, I'm immediately going into mama bear mode. And that's how I felt. She also said that this guy never bought her anything and that he's nice to her over text or when they're together. But at the same time, she wasn't being fed. She wasn't being nurtured. She wasn't being nurtured by him. And she wanted to know whether or not she should stay. Mm-hmm. And I am someone who, just to be completely honest with y'all, I had to learn, and I did learn, a level of my divine femininity after I got married. I got married to a straight emperor, up and down emperor, okay? And he operates in emperor energy damn near 24/7. Sometimes he might actually go into King of Swords, but most of the time he operates in Emperor energy. And his presence to me is very overwhelming. It's an overflow. I love it now, but at first it scared me. It scared me because I'm standing at the ocean of love with a freaking plastic cup, and this man is a whole ocean, and so I didn't know what to do with that. And so when I'm thinking about what it would be like for a 17-year-old to be in a relationship with someone who is incapable of pouring into her, who is incapable of showing the small things that she needs in order to feel safe and secure, I immediately went into like, this is what you need to do. And I ended it by telling her, I can tell you what to do all day, every day, but this is your life and this is your journey. And at 17 years old, you have the world in front of you, and it doesn't need to be wasted on somebody who does not care about you. And I meant everything that I said to her. As I reflected on that conversation, and I was speaking to my husband about it. First of all, he was absolutely disgusted that somebody would go off on somebody else for a selfie. I take selfies with my husband all the time. You know, sometimes he's in the picture, sometimes he's not. But he was absolutely disgusted. He was like, man, that's some hoe ass shit, is what he said. And I said, what would you, as a man, as a divine masculine, what would you tell 17-year-old her? And he was like, I would tell her, if he is not performing at a status that makes you feel good, that makes you feel safe, or makes you feel like you have to question yourself and what your standards are, this is somebody that you don't need to be with. And then he broadened it. He said, not only for a romantic relationship, but just in life in general. If somebody is not in your space and they're not performing at a way that makes you feel safe and happy, or you have to question yourself or whether or not what you're asking for is too much, this is somebody that doesn't need to be in your life. And I 100% concur with him. That message is embedded in our conversation today. The way that the world sneaks up on us with chaos, with blood, with sacrifices, with war, with back and forth between men and women, and that whole sector, with religious warfare, everything. We have a level of control that I think oftentimes we just push to the side. And that level of control is who we get to open up to, who we get to give ourselves to, the container that we put people in, including ourselves. That we have a direct ability to control. Now she's 17, she's still learning her life. We are not 17 years old. Okay, we are not 17 years old. And if there are people around you that consistently cause chaos and friction and hell in your life, there are people there that's doing that. I'm asking you to reevaluate why you're still around. Because you might be the person that's the thread that keeps them around, or you might be the person who is giving away your spiritual technology for free and people are feeding off of it. You do not have to operate at a lower vibration or a lower frequency because someone else doesn't know how to treat it. You never should be that way. And I know that the collective has lowered their vibration for other people because they felt that's what they were supposed to do. And I'm telling you, we are not shrinking. We are only going to get bigger. Our energy is only going to get bigger from here. And I'm not asking you to quiet down. I'm asking you to get louder in the way that you take up space, because how you take up space don't affect me none. And how I take up space shouldn't affect you none. We operate in abundance, big blessings. Our healing is the blueprint, and we build upon it. God does not play about us. And I want you to hold that and alchemize it into the way that you live your life. I'm all about intentional living. I serve this country. I went to school. I'm a hospice social worker. I'm a death doula. I am with people who transitioned from this planet, took their last breath. I have been there. And one thing I refuse to allow the collective to do is to waste time on an ass hat, on an asshole, on a loser that does not even qualify to be in your life if you pulled out the application. Period. And I hope that that resonates with you. I hope that it takes you to a place where you get to reevaluate or just evaluate for the first time in your life who's in your circle. This world already has too much conflict. You already have to deal with high level warlocks and witches and sacrifices and all types of things. You always have to deal with spiritual warfare. You don't have to be in a circle with people who also want to contribute to chaos around you. We are not in the spirit of deception with one another, and we should not have to be. We should not have to cloak ourselves and hide ourselves. The people who need to see us will. And those who see us and yearn to quiet us down, they will lose. They always do. How do I know? Because you're still here. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you hanging out with me on this beautiful, beautiful sun. Well, at least it's beautiful out here. I mean, the sun is bright. I mean, the kids are outside playing in the pool. Like, it's just a beautiful Sunday here. I'm gonna go find me something to eat. Okay, I'm gonna walk Coco and find myself something to eat. Hi, Emery. I love each and every one of you. Make sure that you like this live stream, please, because this live stream is the way that I communicate with you. It's my ministry. And if you want to let YouTube know, like, hey, it's a cool girl over here with purple and gray braids that you need to give some love to, you make sure you share this video, you like and you subscribe. It's the only way that the algorithm recognizes this community. The Crown Collective is very special to me, and I cannot wait to grow with you guys on a higher level. Everything, every comment, everything that you have poured into me, including your money, because you guys donate on this channel, it's absolutely just, it overwhelms me. And I just thank you so much. I can't say thank you enough. I receive all of your love. I receive all of your blessings, y'all. I know that it takes me a while to get back to some of your emails, charge it to my head and not my heart. And I just really want to just show my appreciation to you. So thank you again. I love you. I love you. I love you. I bless your gifts 1,000-fold, and I will see you soon. Later.